So I was asked to speak about, legacy and the things that I want to, I guess, leave behind after I'm gone. And my work lives on through my students. And it's kind of an emotional thing, because of course we're talking about mortality. But I never wrote any book. I've often been asked to write books or told that I should write a book about this and that and the other, because I guess I know a lot of stuff. But all the stuff that I know has already been written in books. And the current educational climate, particularly in the universities, is that, you go to school and you get a PhD and you write a book. And then you spend your career selling the book. I was teaching in universities. It's not a path that I ever pursued. It just was an opportunity that came my way, and I guess I was pretty good at it, so they just kept me teaching. But very often, I would recommend a book to a class, and the person that was in charge of the program would tell me to use a different book, or to teach possibly in a different way. And so I would have to use these books or teach in a way that I disagreed with in order to placate my employers. But I came to realize that these people, they're writing new books, and not that they're all bad. I'm sure, a lot of them have many good things to say. But some of these new books, the student has to spend, like $100 for a book or $75 for a book, when the $30 or the $15 book would have been just as good. And the difference in the price is simply that, the $15 or $20 book was written by Paul Hindemith. And if you don't know who that is, look him up. But he wrote a book, and about about musicianship, and there are other books like sight singing books that have been written, for many, many, many years, like since the beginning of printing and music theory books and all those things. And not that things don't change and people have different points of view, and it's good to write about them, of course. But the fundamental aspects of learning music all has been written. And there's no reason to write a book just for the sake of having something to sell. That's my point. And people write books to get a PhD. They have to write a dissertation. And very often these dissertations become books. Now, if it's a dissertation that's on a subject that hasn't been written about before, that's fine. But, for instance, how to play the bass. There are many fine books about how to play the bass. I don't feel the need to write a book about how to play the bass. And as a matter of fact, if I did write a book on how to play the bass, you would get very little use out of it unless you studied with me. Because most of the stuff that you need to know that's in a book has to be taught from a master musician passing down the information. There's only so much information that you can put in a book. And then, being in the same room with somebody and hearing them create the sound in front of you and talking about, musical ideas in real time is missing from the books. So I've never written a book. I'm probably not going to write a book. I guess if they offered me enough money, I might be interested. But generally speaking, I'm not really interested in writing a book. I pass on what I know to my students, and then they pass that on to their students. And that's just how it is. So, yeah, I'm going to get, accused of being a baby boomer. And of course, life was all rosy and peaches and cream and easy for us baby boomers, and you young guys have it hard. And I don't mean to make that into something funny. It's definitely going to be very different. I can't imagine what life on this planet is going to be like in 50 years. I won't be around to see it. But everybody's going to find their own path. You know, I could talk till I'm blue in the face. It's not going to do it. I can't predict where your life is going to take you, what opportunities or what catastrophes you're going to encounter. The main thing is whatever you choose to do, that you do it well. Whether it's music or laying bricks, it doesn't really matter. The fundamental thing is to find happiness in life. And happiness in life is going to be one of the things that's going to give you happiness in life, is doing whatever you do well, and to have in your heart knowing that you're doing it well, because a lot of times you'll be doing it well and nobody will praise you for it. So that's where you have to have your inner strength. So I just wanted to say that so I don't sound too much like an old fuddy-duddy baby boomer. All right, thank you.
Thank you.